Kirama. Egypt's aviation minister says the missing EgyptAir jet was more likely to have been brought down by a terror attack than a technical fault. Sherif Fadi said the control tower had lost contact with the Airbus A320 in the early hours of Thursday morning. If confirmed, it becomes the second terror attack in just a year. Last October, an Airbus A321 operated Barash's Metrojet crashed in the Sinai, killing all 224 people on board. Greek officials have also been providing details about the plane recorded by the aviation instruments before the plane went off radar. According to the Greek defense minister, the plane made two sudden swerves before it went missing. The minister says they then called for help, but they could still not be able to locate it. The current situation of Beaufort Scale 6 winds also made it difficult for any evidence to appear of the possible fall of an airplane into the sea.
At 3:37, the plane, which was 10 to 15 miles inside Egyptian airspace, made a 90 degrees turn to the left and then a 360 degrees turn towards the right, descending from 37,000 feet to 15,000 feet, where the picture we had was lost at 10,000 feet. We asked France, via the military attaché in Athens, for any operational imagery that could exist from the photo satellite Eloise or from the French military forces, and our request was immediately accepted. We also asked our allies if any of them could contribute any satellite imagery or any other information.
Let's now cross to Egypt, where Adel Mahroui is standing by with the latest on the missing plane. Adel, there are reports that some debris suspected to be from the missing plane has been spotted. What more can you tell us?
Well, this has been just in 6 minutes ago. EgyptAir has released a statement saying, and I'm just reading it here out loud, that resources state that the Egyptian Ministry of Civil Aviation has just received an official letter from the Egyptian Foreign Ministry, and it confirms that they found the wreckage of the missing aircraft MS-804 near Carpathos Island. EgyptAir sincerely conveys its deepest sorrow to the families and friends. So this is an official confirmation from EgyptAir that they have found, or at least they confirmed with the Greek authorities that they did in fact find the wreckage of the plane. And this is more of a message of condolences to the family members, conveying that no survivors have been found. There is still a long way ahead. There is a long way to find the rest of the wreckage, to find the black box and the recordings of the last minutes or seconds before the plane crashed in the Mediterranean Sea.
Adel, Egypt's Minister of Civil Aviation earlier considered that terrorism was more likely the cause of the crash, which may have surprised many considering intensity with which Cairo denied any possible terror links to the incident involving the Russian airliners. Why is this the case?
Well, this is a totally different issue for Egypt. First of all, the plane was not on its territories. It came out from Paris, from Charles de Gaulle Airport. But this was not the fact that made the civil aviation minister tend to say it's a terrorist incident. He is basing it on the fact that the weather was extremely fine above the Mediterranean Sea at the time the flight MS-804 was over the Mediterranean. That's one factor. The flight records of the plane and before it took off from Charles de Gaulle Airport were absolutely perfect from his perspective. And at the same time, the pilot has about 6,000 hours of driving experience. Over 2,000 hours of his experience were on this same model of the Airbus 320-232. So basically, putting this all together, the minister expected that it doesn't seem that there is an abnormal malfunction maybe that could lead to such a sudden disappearance and now crash. But he believes that putting all this perspective and adding that the plane was manufactured in 2003, so it all indicates that something abnormal happened from his perspective, and that's why he did not confirm it's a terrorist attack, but he says that it's a likely scenario, or at least a more likely scenario than a malfunction.
All right, Adel Mahroui live in Cairo. Thank you. It's early days yet in determining what brought down MS-804, but the tragedy will do little to revive confidence in Egyptian air travel. It's the third major incident in Egyptian airspace in little more than 6 months. Jin Keo has more.
Well, thanks, Penina. Back in March, EgyptAir was making international headlines. This time, it was a hijacking drama. A middle-aged man took control of an Airbus A320 heading from Alexandria to Cairo and had the plane fly across the Mediterranean to Cyprus. It later emerged that the man wanted to see his wife there and that his explosive belt was a fake. But far more serious was the downing of a Russian passenger jet over the Sinai last October. Now, the Airbus A321 was packed full of tourists flying home from Sharm el-Sheikh. Now, all the 224 people on board were killed. ISIL's affiliate in the troubled Sinai claimed responsibility, and it was months before the Egyptian government confirmed it was a terror attack. Now, that single incident cost the tourism industry more than $1.2 billion in lost revenue. Now, these are worrying times for airline passengers in Egypt, and with this latest tragedy, authorities are really going to struggle to convince people that it's really safe to fly in Egyptian skies. Back to you.
Jen, thank you.